Have you ever wondered why humanity keeps repeating the same chaos, as if some invisible force controls our minds? Carl Jung discovered the reason, but his theory was buried hidden from the public for decades. Because if you truly understood it, you'd never see the world the same way again. Have you ever looked at the world and felt that something was deeply off? Like everyone around you is hypnotized by the same illusion, chasing the same empty goals, repeating the same lifeless words, while you quietly sense a hidden truth moving beneath it all. If you've ever felt that, pause right now and hit the like button so this message reaches others who feel it too. And if you're drawn to Carl Jung's forgotten wisdom, subscribe, because what you're about to hear is one of Jung's most dangerous, most forbidden ideas. Jung discovered something that terrified even his own peers, a theory so unsettling it was quietly buried beneath polite language and academic distance. He called it the collective possession of the psyche. The force that controls societies, governments, even civilizations, from the shadows of the human mind. Jung realized that most people aren't truly individuals. They're fragments of a collective mind, moved by unconscious forces that they don't understand. And those who see this truth, those who awaken to it, are treated as threats, heretics, or madmen. Carl Jung warned that the greatest danger to humanity was not war, not famine, not nature, but psychic infection. When whole populations become possessed by archetypal forces. He wrote, "The individual who is not anchored in his own soul becomes possessed by the group mind. Look around you, the outrage cycles, the tribal politics, the blind obedience to trends. You're not watching individuals think, you're watching archetypes move through them. And this is the theory they don't want you to understand. Because if you truly grasp it, you become immune to manipulation. You stop feeding the collective shadow that thrives on fear and division." Jung's hidden message was simple, but dangerous. Once you awaken from the group mind, you can never go back. Awakening has a price. Jung wrote, "Those who separate from the collective face a period of deep isolation. Friends turn distant, communities turn hostile. The world senses you're no longer under its spell, and it doesn't like that." He called this the individuation crisis, the painful process of becoming a true individual in a world that demands conformity. If you've ever been misunderstood for thinking too deeply, for questioning what everyone else accepts, you've already begun this journey. If you're still here, it means something in you knows this truth. So, do something powerful for your own growth. Comment below and write, "I see the pattern." That simple act, Jung would say, helps bring the unconscious into consciousness. It makes what is hidden seen. Jung observed that when people ignore their inner world, their unconscious energy doesn't vanish, it merges with collective movements. That's why ideologies, religions, and social media mobs feel so intoxicating. They offer the illusion of meaning while stealing individuality. He wrote, "The larger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes." And here's the terrifying part. Jung believed this process is inevitable when people refuse to face their own shadow. When we deny our personal darkness, the collective shadow takes over. Entire nations begin to act like single personalities, paranoid, aggressive, self-destructive. He saw it happen once, he warned it would happen again. So, how do you escape it? How do you keep your mind your own? Jung's answer, individuation. The conscious journey to unite your conscious self with the vastness of your unconscious. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And that's what they don't want you to do, because a person who has become whole cannot be controlled. A person who has faced their shadow no longer projects hatred onto others. They see clearly. They see the truth, their truth. The path begins with a single radical act. Turn inward. Question every belief you've inherited. Ask yourself, is this truly mine, or is it the collective voice echoing in my mind? When you do this, the noise of the world begins to fade, and beneath it, you'll hear your own authentic voice. For the very first time, Jung warned, the unconscious will not surrender easily. You must face what you've denied, not to destroy it, but to integrate it. Jung said, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. This is the essence of his theory, the part they fear you'll understand, because when individuals integrate their shadow, society loses control over them. If this message resonates with you, hit the like button so the algorithm doesn't bury this important message, and subscribe to our channel so we can spread the wisdom of visionaries like Carl Jung. We're building a space for those walking Jung's path in the modern age. Jung said humanity's next evolution won't come from technology or politics, but through psychological awakening. Consciousness itself must evolve one person at a time. He warned that, without that evolution, humanity would destroy itself through the collective shadow, repeating the same chaos until enough people awaken. So when you feel alienated from the world, remember, it's not a curse. It's a signal from the universe that you're on the correct path. You're seeing through illusions that others still need to believe in. You are, in Jung's words, a forerunner of a new consciousness. Carl Jung's theory of collective possession is not just psychology, it's power, because once you understand it, you reclaim your mind, and that's something the collective will always resist. They don't want you to wake up. They don't want you to question. They don't want you to think for yourself. But you, watching this now, already have. Here's your final wake-up call. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate.